Hey, hey, hey. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? All right. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm going to share it with these people and these people. And I want to share it here as well. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Let's see. Maybe I can share it there as well. Hello, hello, hello. Alright, let me tag a few people. That I believe won't mind me tagging them. Hey everybody, as you come in, thank you for joining me first of all. As you come in, if you would please take an opportunity to share this video out. How y'all doing? Blessings to everybody. Let's see who else. Say hi as you come in. Let me know you're here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I tagged her. All right. Hey, y'all. Hey, Charlene. Hey, Kesey. How are you? Lady Barlow. Y'all, I'm not being bougie tonight. I'm trying to make sure that I can keep my voice, my sinuses. I have been dealing with the sinus cold for the past week, and I'm over it. So I'm just really trying to make sure that I don't cough out of control tonight. How y'all doing? Good to see everybody. Hope everybody is well. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the tomorrow mindset. And for those of you who are joining me for the first time, my name is Candace B. Woods. I'm the Mindset Architect, and I have the privilege of helping Christian professional women elevate their mindset to begin to shift from dreamers to visionaries and make sure that they're aligning their visions with the will of God. So I'm excited because God is faithful. So really want to talk to you guys about what I call the tomorrow mindset. And if you're here joining me on tonight, I would love for you to share this out with others. Also, let me know you're here so I can know that you hear me well. So if you would just give me a thumbs up or a heart or something, let me know you're out there in Facebook Live world, and let me know you can hear me okay. So I appreciate that. Awesome. Hey, Norman. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Good to see everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. So, once again, I'm Candace B. Woods, the Mindset Architect. In the past few weeks, I have been on this intentional living journey. And it has been a really positive, it's been a very transformational experience for me, simply because I was able to begin to shift my mindset and bring awareness to some things that I needed to do, that I needed to shift into doing more of in order to live my best life, in order to be the person that I believe that I've been called and created to be. And I started this intentional living challenge, and the challenge has just really blessed me, and it's blessed so many others. I had roughly about 35-40 women take the challenge, and I'm going to be relaunching that challenge again, just because so many people wanted to take it, weren't able to take the challenge, and were asking me how they could get more involved. So I really wanted to take an opportunity tonight just to continue this intentional living journey, if you will, in the conversation about it. And as I was just reading through some information the other day, reading an article and even a book by John Maxwell talking about intentional living, one of the things that really hit me is how often we have this spirit of procrastination that kind of comes about, that happens with us. And so I took that on and I deemed it the tomorrow mindset. And so a lot of times I believe that many of us get into a habit of thinking and believing that we have enough time to do what it is that we really have a desire to do tomorrow. And we begin to put things off and put things off and put things off until we get to a point where we look back and time has just been wasted. Time has just gotten away from us. And so I want to be active and intentional in being able to make sure that that doesn't continue to happen in my life, and I'm hoping that so many of you can connect with that as well. So one of the things that I wanted to share, I want to share with you 3 things or 3 ways that you can dump the tomorrow mindset. Now, once again, let's talk about what the tomorrow mindset is really all about. The tomorrow mindset is really all about being in a position or having the perspective that you're going to be able to get to do those things that you have a desire to do tomorrow. And it's putting off what we can do today, now, and living in the now, and putting it off until tomorrow. So many of us have desires and dreams that we want to fulfill, but we sell ourselves short and we put off what's necessary for us to do for us for tomorrow. And we end up putting the perspective, we end up putting the needs of others, we end up putting the desires of others and other people's dreams and visions ahead of our own. And so that's something that I've struggled with along my journey. And even yesterday, as I began to look through, I think it was Instagram, I saw a post and I shared it on my page about how many of us are struggling with depression. And one of the things that it talked about in that particular post was that a lot of times we struggle with depression because we are catering to others at the expense of our own well-being. And so being on this intentional living journey has really shifted my thinking about how I am putting the needs of others before my own personal needs. And so, hey Chandra, and so I really wanted to talk about the tomorrow mindset so that we can get into the habit and get into a place where we're really beginning to put ourselves first, putting our needs first, making sure that we are healthy, that we're whole, that we're secure, that we feel good about who we are as individuals, so that we can begin to be effective in the lives of our family or in the lives of others. No matter where we are, we can begin to be effective and more productive as well. So let's talk a little bit about what the tomorrow mindset is and 3 ways that you can begin to dump the tomorrow mindset. So number 1, you can dump the tomorrow mindset by having a attitude of gratitude. And so one of the things that I've learned on my journey is that when I begin to connect myself and align myself, hey Jacqueline, when I begin to connect myself and align myself and making sure that my vision is in alignment with the will of God and the plans of God, then I can be thankful for where I am and what I have, right? And so if I just begin to just appreciate where I am now and appreciate today and be thankful for today, then it will help me to shift my thinking and my mindset to a place where I am able to not put things off until tomorrow. That I can begin to just focus on what I have now and be thankful for it. Being grateful that God didn't give me what I thought I wanted or what I thought I needed. And so a lot of times, hey Tiffany, a lot of times, we can be focused so much on tomorrow. We can focus on so much on, I'm going to let that go tomorrow. I'm going to forgive that person tomorrow. But we really just need to be thankful that we have another opportunity today to get it right, because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So we need to take advantage of the opportunities that we have today, right now, to get things right, and just to be grateful and thankful that what we thought we wanted or what we thought we needed, that God didn't give it to us, that He knows what we need. Okay. And so, and understanding number 3, that you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. I struggled just with this mindset and this thinking that I had just wasted so much of my time and that I will not get it back. But I had to remember that God will restore the years, and that that it's possible that He can put you in a position in your life where when you look back at it, you won't even remember, those moments when you were going through, because you're in a position now where you're beginning to reap the harvest of what you have invested and the tears that you've sown. And so I really want you to be encouraged and know and understand that if you have an attitude of gratitude, you can really begin to dump the mindset of tomorrow and putting things off. Okay. Number 2, get started now and build momentum. So if you have a dream or desire that you want to go back to school, or you want to start that business, or you want to begin to work on using your gifts, or you want to get a promotion, and you keep putting it off because you begin to sell yourself short, or you begin to think that you're not deserving of it, or you're not worthy of it, then I want you to just begin to take small steps. One of the things I say all the time to my clients is that you cannot eat an elephant all at once. I don't know who would want to eat an elephant, but you can't eat an elephant all at once. It takes one bite at a time, right? So it's really all about taking small steps. And so as you just begin to get started in doing what it is that you have a desire to do, whatever God has put on your heart to do, and you just take that step, God will honor your try. He will honor your efforts. He will honor your obedience. And so if you just take that step and just begin to build momentum, eventually you won't continue to put things off, right? You won't continue to procrastinate. A lot of times procrastination comes out of fear. It comes out of fear of rejection. It comes out of fear of success. It comes out of fear of judgment. And so a lot of times we just need to just take the step, one step at a time, and begin to build momentum. Celebrate the small wins. Celebrate those successes, no matter how small they seem. Take one step at a time, and then find your motivator, or find your why. Why do you need to fulfill that dream? Why is it important for you to begin to take that promotion? How is it going to benefit your family if you take that promotion? What is that promotion and the extra income going to be able to help you do later that you're not able to do now? What if you start that business and it actually begins to flourish, and it actually begins to bring the income and the momentum that you need? What if your book is a success when you write it? Whatever the case may be, if you just take the step out to do it, God is going to honor your obedience. But then also think about what motivators you have, or what your why is for doing it. And know and understand that once you begin to identify what your motivators are and what's important to you, it's going to keep you going. For me, stepping out on faith and starting my business full time, even though I had been in business for a couple of years before this, stepping out on faith and doing this full time was not an easy quest for me. But I'm thankful that I stepped out and did it, because had I not done it, I wouldn't know what success in business looks or feels like. And I wouldn't be able to say and actively say, you know what, this is working for me, and God is sustaining me, and He's elevating me, and He's taking me to new levels. But if I hadn't tried, if I hadn't taken the step, I wouldn't know how to do it for myself, or even how to help others to do it as well. So I want you to be encouraged, and want you to know that sometimes we just need to think about our why. You know, what are our motivators? One of my motivators for stepping out on faith and starting business full time was my father, and being able to be available to my family and support my family. Another motivator is my future family. You know, I want to be able to be there for, you know, my children, or be there for, you know, to be able to take vacations, or to plan my day and have the flexibility to do the things that I like to do and I enjoy doing. And so it's a blessing to be able to do that, and to get up each and every day knowing that I am fulfilled, that I feel grateful and thankful for what I have, that God is building my business and helping me have momentum in business. But then also, hey Nikki, hey Ebony, but then also that I'm able to be there for those who need me when I need them. Today, I was able to plan my day and schedule my day the way I needed to accommodate my dad's doctor's appointment. And so that is the luxury of being able to be in business full time. This ain't meant for everybody, but my point in saying that is that if I had not taken the step out on faith to begin to do that, and I did not have that motivator in place, then I may not have been as successful. I probably would have stayed at that job. You know, not that it was a horrible job, it was actually a very good job, and it has really given me and developed my skill set to be able to do what I'm doing now. But had I not been able to just step out on faith, I would still be at a job that had limitations on my time, my pay, and etc. So now I'm in a better position to be able to say, you know what, this is what I'm going to charge for my time, rather than somebody else saying this is what your time is worth, if you understand what I'm saying. And so number 3, you want to begin to focus on the present. The final way that you can begin to dump the tomorrow mindset and putting things off is by focusing in on the present. You guys, sometimes we can get so caught up in the hustle and the bustle of life that we fail to live in the now. We fail to live in the present moment and enjoy what we have now. There's so many times when we find ourselves working, 2 and 3 jobs just to rob Peter and pay Paul, and then we end up not focusing on those who are around us, and not loving on our children, not spending quality time with our children, not being present in their lives, not being present in our spouses' lives or in our loved ones' lives. And then before we know it, those children have grown up, or those children are falling by the wayside, or doing other things that they shouldn't be doing, simply because you weren't present in the moment with them. You weren't giving them your time and attention. Even if you were to take on a vacation, or say, I'm going to go on vacation, how much of that do you spend presently with those that you love, just enjoying their time and their attention? There's this concept called the 5 love languages, and I love the 5 love languages. And one of the things that I've learned is that my top 2 of the 5 love languages is quality time and acts of service. What I realized that what quality time means for me is that when I am in the presence of someone that I care about, that they have my undivided attention, but I also value having theirs. And so in moments like that, I really want to make sure that they know that they're heard, they know that they are seen, not just, seen physically, but they are seen. Like, I see you, I understand you, I feel what you're saying. I notice that you're not yourself, or I notice when you're kind of, off course. Being so attuned to the people that we love, that we understand how important it is to just be present and in the moment. You guys, I say this all the time, and I use this example because I was thinking about one of my loved ones that passed away not long ago, and one of the things that she would often do is she would contact me and tell me how proud of me she was, because I was stepping out on faith and I was doing all these things that she didn't have the confidence in doing. And she had dreams and she had desires that she died with on last year. And so I really, as I grow older, and I talk about this as I enter into 40, I'm realizing that how much I feel like I missed out on, to a certain degree, but how much more I want to just live in the now, and how much more I want to be present, and how much more I really and truly want the desires and the dreams that I have to be fulfilled. I do not want to leave this earth with dreams and desires inside of me. I really want to be able to say I have lived my best life. When I prayerfully, I make it to 100 years old. But if I don't, I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can right now to reach a place in life where I am fully fulfilled. And when I leave this earth, and I can really say that I have lived the best of my life, and that I have done the things that I have a desire to do. And hey, Carol. Hey, Uncle Lonzo. Hey, Marcel. And so this is why this is so important. We need to understand and recognize, while we are dumping the tomorrow mindset, and as we begin to shift our thinking about putting off things, thinking that we have enough time, that we can get to it tomorrow. There's this song by the Winans that says, tomorrow isn't promised. Tomorrow is not promised. And so we need to choose life. We need to choose God. We need to choose all of the things that we can have right now, and begin to live in the moment. We need to recognize our power and authority and ability to get things done and to make things happen now. You have the ability to get it done. God has already equipped you with the tools and the gifts and everything that you need to be successful now. But it really takes a mindset shift. It really takes time for you to stop and be aware of how you've been putting things off, waiting, saying that, I'll get it done tomorrow. Some of us have health issues that we need to address today, because if we don't, tomorrow, we may not live to see tomorrow. So why keep putting it off? We need to dump the tomorrow mindset. We need to dump it and let it go, and begin to live in the now. Begin to visualize yourself at your absolute best. If you have a desire to be married, if you have a desire to have a family, if you have a desire to go back to college, if you have a desire to start a business, or to start a mentoring group, or to do something purposeful and meaningful, don't put it off. Begin to do it now. Figure out what it's going to take to make it happen now. It just takes one step. It just takes one step. So let's talk about this once again. I'm going to go back over the 3 things, or 3 ways that you can begin to dump the tomorrow mindset. Number 1, have an attitude of gratitude. Be thankful for where you are now. Look back at where you've come, how far you've come. This is something I try to do pretty often. There was a time when I said, I'm not going to be able, I'll never get over this relationship, or I'll never get past the fact that I embarrassed myself this way. I did that this weekend. I had a little moment, but or I'll never get past something. And so when you get into a place where you start to think that you can't, then guess what? You won't. So let's begin to have an attitude of gratitude, to be thankful for where we are, to be thankful for what we have, to be thankful that we did not, for the grace of God, that we did not suffer the consequences that we probably should have suffered, that we did not end up in that relationship that we thought we wanted or needed. Just being grateful that God was always there and knew exactly what you needed, okay? So that's the number one. Have an attitude of gratitude, being grateful for the things that you have, and understanding and knowing that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Yes, you could have made different decisions, but guess what? God has still brought you so far, and he's giving you another opportunity to get it right each and every day. So let's just be grateful that we have what we have, that we are where we are. That's number one. Number two, get started and build momentum. It only takes one step. You can't do it all at once, but take one step at a time, and you'll be able to begin to build momentum. And before you know it, if you get up one morning and you say, you know what, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, or I'm going to lose 5 pounds. Let's just focus on 1 pound at a time, shall we? Let's just begin to work on what we can do to begin to start creating new habits, and begin to take 1 pound at a time. You can't do all 10 tomorrow. Just do 1 at a time. What can you begin to do now to make those steps? What lifestyle changes can you begin to do now to make those steps? What can you begin to do now to begin to shift your mindset into from one perspective to the next, okay? So that's number one. Celebrate the small wins. You're winning each and every day. If you are a better person today than you were yesterday, then guess what? You're winning, honey. So celebrate the small wins. I had to do that this weekend. I had a moment where I was reacting to a conversation that I was having, and I reacted in the moment. And when I thought about it, at first I was kind of feeling, a little upset about it, because I was a little embarrassed by how I handled it. But then I know, and I recall moments when I probably would have dwelled on that for days and days at a time. But I've grown so much that I had to take a step back, and I said, you know what, Candace, you're allowed to have a moment. You're allowed to make a mistake. You're allowed to have a misstep. But as long as you correct it, and that's what I did. I corrected it in that moment, and I'm moving on. And so those who accept it will accept it, and those who don't won't. But what matters to me is that the person or the people that I wanted to accept it, and who were okay with me after that, that's all that mattered, because those relationships are the ones that count for me. And so you can't please everybody, and I'm learning that. But growth, and that's all it takes, one step at a time. You gotta be willing to grow, and you gotta be willing to be better tomorrow than you were today. But each and every day, strive to be a better person than you were on the day before. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do. And so stop putting off what you can do today for tomorrow. Okay? You may not get that opportunity tomorrow. You may not get the opportunity to go and ask that person for forgiveness. You may not get the opportunity to make it right with your brother or your sister or your mother or your father or whoever you fell out with. You may not get that opportunity. They may not be here tomorrow. You never know what happens. There are people who are dying each and every day. And death does not have an age limit. It does not have an age limit. And so we have to begin to really think about that, and stop putting it off until tomorrow. Take one step at a time, but more importantly, identify a motivator. Identify your why. Why do I need to make this happen? And how will this change my life if I make it happen? If I take this one step and my dream actually comes true, how is this going to make my life better? Who will this decision impact? And so these are the things that we have to begin to process as we begin to move forward, okay? Last but not least, focus on the present. Focus on the present. Enjoy your life now. Spend time now enjoying those that you love, right? Tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. So spend time now with those that you love. Make time now for your children. Spend time now on vacation with your children. Put down the phone every now and then. Put social media down. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses and everybody else. Focus on the now. Focus on what's going to make you happy, and do it. And do it. Recognize your power and authority to make things happen. You already have the tools. You already have the skill set. You already have the gifts. And you can get started with what you have. You don't have to have all these other things that sometimes we think, you know. And this is the thing that I'm learning, is that God doesn't equip, he doesn't call the equipped. He equips the called. Okay, so that simply means that each and every one of us has a calling on our lives. And so when we get to a point where we decide that we're going to accept whatever that calling is, and we say yes to it, then God is going to equip you to fulfill it. You don't already have to be ready per se, or have all these things together per se, to get it done or to get started. God will meet you at your yes. And he will honor your try and your efforts to begin to build momentum and to take those steps. So just understand it, and begin to visualize yourself doing it. You know, whatever it is that you have a desire to be. If you have a desire to be married, you know, I have a desire to be married again. You know, so what am I doing now? I'm preparing to be a wife. If you have a desire to go back to school and to get your degree, begin to see yourself walking across that stage now. If you have a desire to write a book or to start a business, see yourself now cutting that red ribbon, you know, opening your business, or having your grand opening, or having an event, or having, you know, your book signing. I don't care what it is that you have a desire to do. Those are just examples. But whatever it is, begin to visualize yourself and see yourself winning and doing it now. Okay, so these are 3 ways that you can begin to dump the tomorrow mindset, and it's so important that we get to that point. And so before I go on tonight, as I always do, I want to offer an opportunity for you to work with me, but not just work with me for the sake of just doing it. I really want you to be in a place where you're ready to begin to make the transformation and the change that you need to make about your life, because tomorrow is not promised. And so I believe that God has equipped me and positioned me to be able to help others shift from being that person who's saying, I'm going to put it off until tomorrow, to being a person who's saying, I want to take that step. How do I get it done? And I can help you get it done. And so there are a couple of ways that you can work with me. Number one, you can work with me one-on-one. And I really would love for you to take an opportunity just to do a clarity call with me. So I'm going to post that link for you, so you'll be able to do a clarity call. And we can talk about where you are, and we can see how it is that I can help you get to where you have a desire to be. The one thing about me in my clarity calls is that it does somewhat feel like coaching a little bit, but I give you some steps that you can begin to take action so that you can move forward. So that's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is by signing up and working with me in my new program called my Intentional Living Bootcamp. And I'm excited about this because it's actually broken down into four sessions. We talk about your mindset awareness. We talk about how you can begin to identify your crew, your tribe, your people who you need to be around you. And I give you 3 people who you should have, 3 types of people you should have around you at all times. We talk about getting to the root issue of what's been holding you back and what's been keeping you held bound and keeping you limited from being who God has called you to be. And so we get to the root of that, and we start to identify the lies that we've been telling ourselves about ourselves, and we begin to redirect those things. And then finally, we're going to talk about how you can begin to take action to pursue the things that you've been called to do, and the person that you've been called to be. And so I'm excited about this particular boot camp. It is $97 to be a part of this boot camp, and it's going to actually start on this coming Saturday. And so several women, I think I have a small group. I love intimate groups, but we have a small group of women who've already enrolled into this program, and I'm excited to actually officially launch this program out. And so if you want to be a part of this program, I'm going to give you the link now that you can sign up for this particular boot camp. All right, there it is. And so once again, it's going to start on this coming Saturday, and there the link is. All right, and so hey Brandon, how are you? And so there's the link for you to join the boot camp. Again, it's $97, but for tonight, if you decide to join me tonight, then it's $67. So if you would, I want you to comment in the thread boot camp, and I'll be happy to send you the link to sign up for that particular boot camp. And so I'm excited about this opportunity to work with you guys. This intentional living journey is it's really equipping me, and it's really shifting my mindset and my thinking to see myself on new levels in Christ. And so I'm excited to be offering this opportunity to work with me. So I'll be sharing those links once again for the clarity call. If you want to work one-on-one with me, we can definitely set up a time to talk about how we can get that done and what we can do. And these are the things that I really try to specialize in talking about. I am a strong believer in families and making sure that we have strong families. And I have a background in clinical mental health counseling, and also 14 plus years of working with families and youth, and I'm excited about that. So these are the things that I generally talk about in my coaching. I talk to individuals who have a desire to learn what their purpose is. I talk to professional women on a number of bases who have a desire to heal from broken relationships or divorce. I also work with women who have a desire to just become a better person within themselves and find their purpose, or who lack fulfillment, who may be struggling in understanding their worth and their value. So these are just a couple of ways that I work with people. There are people who have a desire or a dream in their heart, and they don't really know how to get started. So I help those of us who have desires or dreams in our heart to do either business or service-oriented business, whether it's speaking or coaching or even writing a book. I help those of us who have a desire to get started really just take the step, get out there, begin to identify what your messaging is, and a lot of times it has a lot to do with our pain points and the things that God has blessed us to overcome. So I'm excited about this journey that I'm on. God is really doing amazing things, and so I would love for you to be a part of this intentional living challenge. Once again, I'm going to put that particular link out there so that you guys can join me in this intentional living boot camp. Okay, all right, that's all I have for you guys. I love you. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. God bless you. God keep you, and I will see you guys next time. See ya. Have a good night.